stream going. Refresh this one. There we are. Awesome. Okay, that one's up and running. Okay, and then I need this. And I need that. There we go. No, do not want you to restore things, Microsoft Edge. Please don't touch my computer. I have everything the way I want it to be. Alright, so let's actually get some work done on the Power Red Astray today. Hopefully we'll get closer to having this hand done so he can start, yes, having some fun with his weaponry for once. Q, Q, W, P, and I already see the Q parts. Technically I need to take these off so we can get these all nice and tightened up. I want these hands to be able to grasp the weapons as good as possible. As good as possible. Because I don't want these falling out. And I don't want the hands to be really weak. I don't want these to be like PG hands. Where it's like, yeah, that's a great idea on having each individual joint be an active joint. But can we not? Okay, I do have WP right here. And that just goes into the center of the hand, so we'll wait on that while we get these finger joints all tightened up. Yeah, we'll just leave those here. Kind of having fun with that, with the current council/rogues kind of quarrel going on. I think it's absolutely hilarious. And I don't know if we'll continue with the roleplay kind of stuff. If everyone likes that stuff, I will definitely continue going with it because I thought it was fun. It was kind of nice. I know roleplay is kind of a big part of TikTok, so we might continue with the commander's log. Current updates of the current situation going on on the bridge. And if everyone likes it, we'll just continue on with it. I know a lot of people like the SCP Foundation stuff is super popular. So if we want captain's logs or commander's logs, we shall do what the people want. I would have been on last night, but we ran a little bit late getting home and getting off. It was already 11 by the time I was trying to get set back up again. So I was like, nah, time for bed. I was dead tired. I didn't even go out. I didn't even get to enjoy my nice reward for getting through the week. But I do have something good coming, everyone. Wow. Holy crap. I do have something really cool coming. We will be building our flagship soon. Since we're going on about that, I do have the idea for the actual carrier that I will be using for a stand-in as a flagship for the Independent Dracus faction of Xeon. And I just ordered it. It's a 1/1000 scale model kit, so it'll be fun. And what's cool is it's actually a Bandai model kit, so it'll be actually kind of fun to build. We're going to go crazy on the lights on it, though. I mean, super crazy. I'm already thinking about getting a ton of stuff by, God, is it Daniel Design? God, I can't remember what his name is right now. But iSnap gets a lot of his stuff from there. And if I get that, it should be pretty good. So just detailing the hands up right now. A little bit of detail on those hands. Before I get the fingers on there, just in case if I mess everything up, I don't have to go back and do it again. But we are also live on YouTube and Twitch. There are better view if you're not just wanting to watch my hands work. They're not the best hands in the world. But that is always a secondary and tertiary option. For those who have differing internet connection speeds, I offer those too, because I know not everyone can watch on TikTok and not everyone can watch on Twitch and YouTube. They all have their own issues. And apparently everyone loves Wifey to death, so I'm definitely going to make her do some more stuff. Her childlike demeanor is always hilarious. Show her a cat and she will squeal. Which is always hilarious. Really, any animal will make her squeal. Might need. Might need a fine tip. But we are 3 weeks into this kit, and I am actually kind of happy about it. It hasn't been so bad. If we were 3 weeks in and I've been struggling the entire time, say, the nightmare that was the 135th scale unicorn build, that was just excessively long because of all the work that had to be done. Not due to just the complexity. It was more... Oh, wow. That camera is nowhere near where it's supposed to be. That one was just overly complicated because we had to redo all the work on it. This one's been just more... It's so super intricate. And everything has to fit in specific places and has to fit fairly tight. I mean... I really haven't had too many loose connections. There really hasn't been anything that I really wanted to tighten up other than the hand. Well, the big giant hands. But that's because I knew the individual joints won't be as tight as I would like. So we're being extra careful to get our articulation down to a very fine point. And hopefully we don't have, we're past the point of, oh no, I dropped that part. All the fingers are done. They are all ready to go. And I've got all the small, tiny fucking parts done and over with. So, thank God. And then we might move on to Snow White Prelude. SWP might be moving forward. I'm really, really, really interested in getting started on that. I don't fully understand how the TFT card works for it, or how any of the modes work for it. The LEDs are actually a very basic, very basic format of how they're doing it. I don't know if I would have done it that way. But my methods, usually considering what I do, requires complete and utter understanding of where the lines are going to be running, and usually removal of material. Because my methods are a little destructive, but yet creative in the same format. So it'll be fun. And I know a lot of people want to see the RX-93 apparently wants to be done. I've already had one person comment on the comment about what was it? I said how R&D is no, the research crew of the RX-93's enhanced fin funnel division were angry of cold storage of weaponry. It's like, some people actually wanted to watch that, and it's like, yeah, Well, maybe. We still have a lot of time before we're moving, so maybe. If I can get it... If we have enough... If I can get Snow White done quickly. If Snow White takes 2 months, probably won't get to that for a while. If Snow White takes a long time, probably we'll end up not doing that immediately. But I want to do Snow White Prelude so badly. I have been waiting on that kit for 6 months, and I have been waiting for something like the Snow White Prelude for over a year. So. And plus, it's a gigantic box filled with parts that I want to play with. And that was undergated. That's another thing I need to get is some more razor blades. I need some new ones. I've been out of razor blades for a while. Ooh, I should cut that and then just file it. That is a little too thin to play around with a knife. Although the best tool I've picked up in the last couple of years was the glass files. They make everything so much easier. I will say that. Okay, so then we can insert each individual finger. We can kind of get that all tightened up a little bit. Because I don't know if I can pop them in. Or they're going to be a fitted ball joint. No. No, I can pop them in and out. Okay, that'll work. It wants you to put them in there, but we can pop them in and out, so that'll be great for me. Let's get these all fitted. I've got my special applicator, which is just a stave that's been used to applicate tiny amounts of super glue onto joints lately. Because of course, we don't want super amounts of glue on there. Just enough to help out. Ooh, yeah, and they're super loose. Jeez. This might need 2 or 3 applications because it is super loose. Are they all like that? Pretty much. Yeah. Okay. So that will be today. Trying to get these hands all tightened up. That's working too well. And looking up. Make sure I don't miss anything. Right now I'm just trying to apply a little bit of super glue to the outside to help beef up these ball joints. Because that one does not working out as much as I would like it to be. While those sit there and dry, we can get some of these other parts clipped out then. Give them some time to chill. And we can get those ball joints tightened up a little bit more. I can actually get things done. And thank you, Team Fortress 2 Gundam, for the likes. And I'm also probably going to make a new logo for kind of... Oh, what is it called? Since we're claiming to be a part of the Junkers Guild, the Junk Guild, which is from Seed vs. Astray, but yet an independent faction of Xeon, kind of doing a hybrid between the two. Do like a Junker Guild logo with a spray paint Xeon logo might look neat. Ooh, for a shelf. If you're in the US, Target sells some amazing shelves. I love Target shelves. They're like $30. They're just some classic black shelving. Fucking awesome for like some really cheap shelves. I have 3 of them, and they're amazing. They're cheap, like classics or something like that. I don't remember the exact name. Fill up my whole entire shelf. Nice. Oh man, that's why I just stopped doing box collecting. I had an entire closet full of it, and I just had to get rid of all. I'm like, there's no reason. It's just spare parts and stuff I'm never even looking at. I don't really do the whole display of the box stuff like some people do. I had to get rid of that stuff. I had to get rid of the boxes. There were just too many when I was thinking about moving last time. We opened up the closet. I'm like, God damn. Looked like a hoarder situation going on. But for display shelves, I really do like the one from Target. It's what I use for all my model kits currently. We tried to mm, tighten that up, and there really ain't no way to tighten that up. So we can just make the ball joint on that a little bit tighter. He's gonna have some limp wrists, but we already tried to tighten that up, and yeah, it doesn't seem like it worked very well. He's gonna have some very limpy wrists. That works good. Oh yeah, I think that works great. Yes. Oh, yes. There we go. Those are some grabby hands. Yes. Although, why did that come off? Interesting why that part decided to fall off, but okay. But yes, that's some. Those aren't the worst. Yeah, but that'll work. That'll work. All together, the hands will work together. Ooh, okay. So from 2021, are we going based on release or just whatever I built in 2021? Cuz there were a lot in 2021. Release, there's two specifically. But just built in general, it still falls into one. Because if we're talking just built in 2021, that was definitely the Takumi. It's a conversion kit that came out in 2020 for the OVA. But if we're talking release, it definitely comes down to the Nightingale and the Hainu. Because they were two of the best kits I've built in a long time. And 2020 has come down to this one because it's the only thing I've built so far in 2020. I mean, 2022. The only thing I've been working on so far. Because we started it just just before Christmas. That one was a little wet still. Yeah, but it works. And just keep those ball joints moving so we don't get any issues. Make sure the fingers are working as efficiently as possible. Right? The Takumi was not a frame. The Takumi is a complete conversion of the OVA Sinanju. Oh, it was such a fun, awesome one. You take the entire inner frame of the Sinanju OVA and a few of the red parts and a few of the black parts, and you make one of the best versions of Sinanju. There's nothing that compares to it. It's pretty much completely accurate to how it would actually look. And it's one of my most valued kits. Other than I actually wrong. Second in line is the doing a 1/35th scale Sinanju bust. That was insane. It lived up to the hype. The 1/35th scale busts do live up to their hype, as long as it's not the unicorn one. The unicorn one was a bit iffy. But something like the ZZ or the Sinanju was like the best thing you could spend $200 on. But for this year, this thing has been pretty dope so far. Now, as long as we don't have issues with that thing popping off, might need to glue that in place. That was popping off on me. Oh, and wow, we got a lot of those. Any good RGs besides Squad Impulse? Yeah, no, there's a ton of great RGs out there. What would I recommend? RG Custom Endless Waltz Wing Zero is one of my favorites. Any of the Astrays are really good. What else is really good? Crossbones was actually decent. Same with Tall Geese, in my opinion. And then a little bit of glue on there. Oh, and then what other real grades? Amatsumina is really good. The Amatsumina gold frame is really, really good. I don't recommend unicorns because I don't like the way they did the RG unicorn. I know everyone loves to make it out to be like the best version of the real grit of the unicorn. I really wasn't a fan of it. I really like the Verka, actually. It's one of the few Verkas I will tout. Kyrios is What am I getting frame ones? Me too. MG Curios was good. Mine came out all right. It's still for 00. It had its issues. I wish they would finally figure out how to do the 00 kits a little bit better. Still not perfect. Actually, mine's on the... Yeah, mine's over there now. Still not perfect. The chest's still a little bit... not my favorite style with the way they did it, but it's not the worst. I need to do Dynamax to finally have a good opinion, and Chiridium. But it was good. I will agree with that. It was good. Ooh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay. Those fingers are getting nice and tight now. They are not sticking, but they are tight enough that we will not have to worry about it dropping weapons. And the rest will stay a little bit limp. That's all right. Just make sure those ball joints don't seize up on me. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's not going nowhere. So far, our creepy, almost, what is it called? Quebbly-like hands are almost finished up. We don't speak wrong of main characters. The folding sword. No, Exia needs a new one. Trust me, I have a dark matter that I refuse to work on. It's already like halfway even wired up. I was going to do a full wiring harness on it and everything. It's already halfway wired up. And it somehow lost more parts while in a box. I don't even know how dark matter did that at all. It lost more parts being in the box. Now, if you want a good Setsuna mobile suit, Quanta Full Saber. That's like the closest thing to a good... Oh, yeah. No, that's fucking great. That's as good as the grip we're going to get on this thing. I think we're good. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. It actually kind of is putting pressure on my hand. So, if it can do that, we won't have any issues with that dropping these very expensive weapons on the ground. Okay. Dark matter was the worst thing, and that was when I was bad at Gunpla. Like, that was really when I was bad, and even then I thought it was a piece of trash. It fell off the goddamn desk every 10 seconds. Every 10 seconds it was falling off my, what is it called? Falling off my shelves. Because it's god-awful terrible. Did I miss something here? Or do we put the whole hands together, then we put that freaking goddamn piece on the arm? No, that. I still need to build the piece for that. And then WD-14 goes over top. Then we build that. And then I don't know what we're building down here. What is that? Oh. We just go straight into the shoulders. Okay. Okay. All right. Doesn't even tell you to attach the hands or anything. No, yeah, so that's just supposed to stay open at that point. Okay. I mean, we do have the shoulder, the kind of the elbow guard on it. And actually, while we're here, because we're going to display them at least once with these on. Okay, put them on there for right now so I don't lose them. We really need an Exia 2.0 badly. We still do not have a good Exia at all. I was gonna buy what is it called? The Exia real grade, but I just don't feel it's worth $30. Like maybe 25 because it's an older real grade. I really don't feel it's worth $30. Kind of one of the reasons why I haven't picked one up yet. I really don't feel like paying full on launch retail for it. It's an older kit. I don't feel that a 1.0 real grade, especially one I don't know. Any high grade unicorn Gundams, so I'm not talking about the grunt unicorns in general. I have a what is it called? I have the gold plated Phoenix as a high grade. It wasn't that bad of a build. I would say the only problem I have is with the gold plating. I've actually been thinking about doing another high grade, another destroy unicorn Phoenix, but doing it in my own coloring, which I've did for in my own gold. I like using the Krylon 18 karat gold pen for gold paint, and doing an entire Phoenix build that way. But do the injection version, not the plated, and do a whole lighting kit for that. Because the high grade unicorns are fucking easy to work on. I had no issues working on it. Same thing with the high grade Sinanjus. They're actually fucking amazing. Yes, you don't get your iconography, but if you're any decent with painting, you can easily put it on there without any troubles. Okay, so we're supposed to get WP done first. I have a bunch of issues with her. Really? WP 3 and 9. 3 and 9, that's 4. 3 and 9. I think the worst one I've had is... Yes, I have issues with the thigh joint on my Phoenix, but if I was to go back and do it, I probably could make it a lot better. That's kind of the thing that I'm doing with this one, is doing every technique I know of nowadays to make things work. Pin drills for making sure everything fits tightly. Files for making sure that things fit correctly. Knives for making sure that everything's working the way it should be. Sandpaper if things don't fit too well. And at most, if things feel too loose, break out that super glue. I specifically recommend Kiss Nail Glue because this shit works so fucking good. Just the shit you get with fake nails. Kiss Nail Glue works great on plastic parts because it seems that it's formulated to specifically bond with the plastic in a way that isn't super destructive, and it doesn't instantly seize up, but it does set quickly, which is like really great for plastic parts because it gives you the time to work it, but also sets fairly strong. But that's what this is actually third party. This is not Gundam. This is not Bandai at all. This is in the territory of highly almost sus. Very, very, luckily I'm not the supplier. Kind of territory, because these are not sanctioned by Bandai. This is daban's 8814, the Power Red Frame Astray. It is based on a metal build which was produced for only a short amount of time. And I can't find P9 anywhere because my brain no work. Oh, because it doesn't look like that. So, almost copyrighted. Yes, yeah. It's not completely bootleg, but it's not Goonpla. Goonpla is the term used for the goofy ass, weird looking, complete bootleg ripoffs. And hello, Sideshow. That look like they shouldn't exist. There is specifically an RX-93 that exists out there. That is the progenitor of Goonpla. And I've seen it. It looks terrible. But that's about the closest. I try to stay towards the big names when it comes to third-party kits. Supernova, daban, and Dragon Momoko, for the most part. Supernova being walking away from Gunpla a lot. They're not doing a whole lot anymore. There are a few kits still out there, but they don't seem to be producing. Snow White Prelude only got a very limited release, and hence why that thing has skyrocketed. Why that kit has skyrocketed to the stratosphere, and it's near mythical nature right now. Okay, and fall on the ground. And it kind of poofed the second it came out. For a $170 kit, it kind of disappeared. Oh, really, Bob? Has it gotten better since you got past some of the fitment issues? That's actually really good if that is the case. And even with the stigma around the band, I haven't really had that many issues with my specific version so far. Well, my specific print really has been like one of the best refreshed Gunpla's Gundam builds I've done in a long time. I really wish they would do. I really wish this was the standard for Red Frame. Even though I do like the standard release of the Red Frame Kai, Blue Frame, it's the legs that are a problem child with those kits. The arms can be a bit finicky, but it's the legs. Real Grade Destiny and Strike Freedom. Freedom, I can see it is a very odd kit. I didn't have the worst time with my Strike Freedom, but it's an odd one. And for Destiny, I would have told you to buy the high grade. The high grade Destiny comes with some of the best parts I've ever seen. I would never expect a high grade to come with the Wings of Light that it does come with. That is the weirdest, but yet the best thing about the high grade Destiny. Well, that came out no, that came out 2019 or 2018. I don't remember when that one came out, but the newer high grade Destiny blows the real grade out of the water. Even AKA ball joints, pretty decent, but the arm joints, let's just say elbows. Yeah, early real grade syndrome. Yep. Yeah. Some of those early real grades are just garbage tier. Some. Not all of them. Some. Some have held up. And that's how I feel about thank you, Get a Rose. That's how I also feel about some of the early. Ooh, the White and Black Rider is nice. Bob. That's kind of how I feel with some of the high reses. The real great, the Astray high reses, awesome. The Strike Noir, awesome. But the wings, oh my god, the wings in the Barbadoses are like some of the worst. My wing initially was really good, but now it's kind of, He holds up, but man, do I not want to touch it. Because he likes to fall over. A breeze touches him and he wants to fall over. And it's like, you are $170. Can you act like your price value? Where this kit, he doesn't even... I mean, he'll tip over, but not that bad. Don't even breathe next to it. Yes! I have a few kits that I don't even like looking at. That it's like, yeah, I'm not going in that side of the room because I don't want to even be near that model kit at all. That's kind of how I feel about like 00 risers. If you don't really work those legs well, oh my god, will they tip over pretty bad. Or if you have a fully loaded out one, just even being in the same room as a fully loaded riser that's not on a freaking stand because they're so back heavy. I used to have my XN on no stand, and that was not a good idea. The God Gundam's supposed to be pretty good, yes. I just don't know why they're doing a real grade now. It's like, okay, you just did the high grade, you just did the high res. Now we're gonna do the real grade. It's like, okay, making up for lost time, Bandai, are we? Gotta get them G Gundams out there quickly. I mean, at least they're not doing a million RX-72s and Barbados's, not Barbados's, wings so far. They've done a few, but not a lot. Okay. Oh, that is interesting on how that goes in. What is supposed to keep that in there? Because there is no way in hell that's just going to stay. Nope, 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 nope. Mr. Glue, you need to come in here really quickly. Oh, boy. Let me check the manual first, because I don't think we're going to be needing to remove that for anything anytime soon. Hopefully, let's double check. If I don't have to remove it for weaponry, I might as well fucking glue that in place, because I am not dealing with that. No, 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 no. Mm-hmm. Yep, that does not show that being removed. Nope. Okay, gluing in place. Alright, that looks good. The thing I hate about the EW, have your arms, master grade. Ugh, right. But the heavy arms, master grade, is the Gatling guns, its chain is terrible. Oh, that sucks. I still don't have that one because I have a Supernova Endless Waltz custom. I still don't have one of those just yet. I wanted to get an Igil. I just haven't. My worst one was I have the Ruiset Endless Waltz no teardrop. And yeah, that was like the worst. I think that's one of the worst wing kits I've ever built. It was not a fun death scythe. It really wasn't. It was very old. I mean, it was just a endless waltz with the extra really set pack. Yeah, it was one of the worst wing kits I think I've put together ever. I haven't even detailed it or anything because it just was not a fun build. Oh, for a P Bandai kit, it was not my favorite. And I waited a long time to get that. The chain does suck. Really? That's why just get a machine, get one of the aftermarket ones. That's what I would go for. Go for one of the metal aftermarket ones. Those things are actually pretty solid. I have some of those on my Sotheby's Gatling cannons, and they're pretty damn solid. Use my bare hands. I ain't afraid to get dirty, so I don't know. Neoprene gloves, like I see a couple people who use neoprenes, especially around painting. If I was doing some painting, I'd probably be using some neoprene gloves because, yeah, that stuff can be really toxic on your skin. But for the time being, what I'm using isn't too bad for my skin, and I don't care to get a little bit fucking dirty. That's the one thing I always try to teach people in my field. I do a lot of electrical repairs. Gloves make you blind to what you're doing. At least when you touch something and it's electric and it's hot, you're gonna feel it. Cause yeah, you're gonna get shocked. And you'll remember next time not to put your hand there. Where the glove will insulate and actually burn you. WD, small red. Small annoying red frame. Small annoying red frame. WD-14. I don't know, this is the whole reason why I do build Gun Plus, because it's a great way of keeping me sharp when it comes to work. Because this stuff keeps my brain active, and I don't just slump into being mindless. That way, even now, if I was to get a call, I could actually go and run it. I wouldn't be happy about it, but yeah. But Gunpla keeps me busy. And Bob, like I was saying, I said earlier before you got on, I actually bought a model ship, well, a Bandai spaceship model that will probably be used as basically a prop for more videos, because I think I've been doing a little bit of research on what would be an appropriate spaceship for my needs, and I think I found one. It's a 1/1000 model, and it should be pretty cool. I'm probably going to do a lot of lighting work on it as expected. I just got to learn a little bit better on how to drill on some plastic stuff, because it won't be like Gunpla where there's perfectly spaced parts. I will have to create the spaces for it and accurately know how to prep the area, which will be a little interesting to do. Okay, so this should be showing on the outside. So I do need to detail that up. But I do hope this little what are we calling it? Basically, TikTok Civil War continues because it's freaking hilarious. I hope it doesn't die out quickly. I hope it continues. It's been ridiculously funny. I kind of like how it's riled everybody up into a community. And I hope it continues for a little bit longer. And that just doesn't fade out. Because that would be just my luck that it. Ooh. Yeah, that would hurt. But then you learn. That's kind of like, what is it? Most the technicians I've worked with are afraid of electricity because they're afraid of getting shocked. And it's like, nah, you need to know what you're doing. Get your hands in there. Remember where you're putting your hands and remember to have your meter on you. Because if you're inside of an electrical box, you need to know where to put your hands, not be afraid of the whole damn thing. Yes, if you're working on it, turn the electricity off. But if you're trying to figure something out, you're not going to figure it out that off. Great, so it's off. How do we know what's going on? We don't. My meter can only tell me so much that my eyes can't tell me. And I can't see it if I can't run it. And sometimes I don't realize how good I am at my job sometimes because I just do it inherently now. But yeah, the last couple days have been like, oh yeah, that's right. I actually kind of know what I'm fucking doing. I just don't realize it because my current team doesn't talk to each other very much. So, and they kind of have their own little clique of people. Instead of being well, they claim to be an actual team. They're not really an actual team. It's these people talk to these people, and these people hang out with those people. Where my older team used to be people who actually talk to each other, who actually functioned as a team. Well, tried to. Didn't always work out. Just trying to detail up these hand backings before I put them on model. Alright. Because we want this to look gorgeous. Yes. I'm actually kind of excited about doing the model shit because it will be interesting because I also got roasted on Twitter 2 years ago about it. About model ships and how they're so much more than model kits are, than snap model kits can be. By a certain large YouTuber who thinks he's invincible. Who we went on a Twitter feud for a little while with. which is why my Twitter following hasn't grown in several years, because I've just stepped away from computers and I have stepped away from that certain person's content. Computer guys seem to be arrogant to how computers work, so you can spout the correct information all you want, especially when you're somebody who actually works with things that cost 50 times what an average computer would cost and knows more about electricity than you do. But yeah, all right. All right. Now I do extensive research on my computers before ever buying parts, but all right. Listen to the one guy who doesn't do anything and just tells you and spouts off the information that he's been given because he's sponsored by these people. That's fine. Oh, and yes, listen to the guy who only builds model ships and doesn't care about anything. I'm still bitter about it, I know. It's not like there's a whole genre of Gunpla building that actually ends up with model kits going into extreme competitions versus people way more talented than me. No, not at all. Who make my model building look like complete child's play. Even though they've spent probably about a year building that. And hell, iSnap stuff is like 10 times that. Gunpla Razzi, 10 times more than mine. Their stuff blows mine out of the water. With how much they do on the intricacy of their model building. Hell, half the, what is it called? The majority of the entire Warhammer community blows my shit out of the water. Oh, yes, RC cars. Actually, one of my longest supporters slash friends, he has some really expensive RC shit. RC shit gets expensive really fast. He's in Norway, and there's a pretty big RC scene up there, I guess. And man, they get expensive. He's got some that are like $2,000 or $3,000 a piece that he's got into them. I'm like, God damn. And RC talk is like insane. I do kind of want to get back into RC shit at some point. Used to be into that stuff when I was a kid. Just because that was kind of the stuff my dad was into. Whenever he would actually be nice to me. Oh, that's a hard one. Hobby shops are far and few between. For myself, there's like a hobby town that apparently is good for like RC stuff where I'm at. But really, we don't get a lot of, I mean, they're far and few between. I know there's a couple random small shops, but it's all pretty much small scale. Unless you go to some of the bigger ones. Like even something like Hobby Lobby doesn't really carry RC stuff. Or really the high-end stuff. Mostly get me looking like Amazon or on the web, because I haven't even gotten into it really. I'm just barely thinking about doing Nitro Kart. And I'm looking at like maybe a couple $100 to start doing a Nitro Kart. Okay, make sure all those bend correctly. Good. We have our, yep. Good, and we bend. We just had one that was a little bit tight. A little bit seized up. And then WC10 goes over top of those. All right. Can do. Oh man, yeah, like shit. I'm in Texas, so like the hobby store I go to, which is Gundam Kingdom, is over 30 minutes away cuz that's a drive. I wish things were close. Like that's the weirdest thing. I used to live in a very small state compared to Texas. When we went back up north for a visit a couple years back, the drives I used to complain about are nothing to me nowadays. I used to complain about driving through this canyon, going up to between this town, the couple towns that I used to live in, and that's a 30-minute drive. I drive 30 minutes to go to restaurants because Texas is so large, and that's just normal for us. A 30-minute drive is nothing. An hour, and that's a little bit of a it's going to the in-laws. 2 hours and okay, we're gonna go to Galveston. We better be going for a reason. 4-hour drives. Oh, we're going to San Antonio again. What are we doing? We're staying for 2 days. Kind of mentality in here in Texas. Because man, are the drives long. You're in Canada. Nice. I don't know. I know Canada is gigantic, but I don't know if you guys are very rural or more small town. That is a quandary. The friends I've had who live in Canada never really kind of gave up that like giant lifestyle. More small townish nature, but they also didn't live in very big cities. And they were also kind of not the ones to go and drive places. Crisis is maple syrup, which is actually sad because that would be the one thing I would expect not to be a crisis in Canada, is the maple syrup. It should never run out. There should be a never-ending supply of maple syrup in Canada. Get the Mounties. We must make this crisis go away. They must figure out who's stealing all the maple syrup. Okay, why take an iplet? I don't know what you just said, but it sounds like a cat jumping on the keyboard, Bob. I am surprised. No, I'm not gonna say we're not. I actually do complain about it. The biggest thing I think is stupid is that the beer companies are still only making seltzers basically. And it's like, can we just move away from this trash water and go back to making beer? Oh yes, why it takes 2.5 hours to get across Houston? Yeah, yeah. Trust me, I know. Lately having to work downtown. Oh my god. Can you run all the way to Katy? No. Can you run all the way to Cypress? Why? Why? I just literally got to downtown. I don't want to go all the way across to Cypress. I just got here. I just sat down. let's see. And then detail these up, and then we'll finally have the hands finished. And then I'm going to have to figure out if I need to tighten up these hands on the ball joints. Which I probably am going to have to. But if we can get this done, get the shoulders finished up, which are going to take it just as long, and then we can finally get the big thing done. And I've had this thing sat ready to go for a couple days now. Went ahead and aligned it with some, what is that stuff called? Null oil, to kind of try to preserve the, what is it called? The gold paint, because it does react with the alcohol solvent. So I've had that ready to go for a few days now. I got to do the rest of the other ones, since we don't really want to fade the gold like we did on these guys. It won't look nearly as good if I would have done that. And I've already got the videos planned out for this. There's at least 2 to 3 that I'm going to have to do for this specific model kit. And they'll work. It's just getting everything, especially now. Like, CapCut has gotten really good. That is like one of the best editing softwares, I think, for free that you can get. The stuff you can do with it is nearly as good as Premiere. And way easier to use than Premiere. I have been really liking CapCut. I'm getting pretty good with it. I hate that they have to have the watermark ending, but that's because I don't pay for it. I bet if there's probably a pay option, and if you pay it, then the watermark goes away. Or just cut it off like normal people do. I just always am lazy and forget to cut it off. But with the support of the community so far, it's been awesome. If we can get more stuff going on, I mean, we're going to be doing a lot. I mean, I don't lie when I do things. If I'm going to do something, I do it. So if we can keep the growth cycle going in 2021, I mean, from 2021 to 2022, we could possibly get more stuff going. No, there's no way that goes like that. It should go that way. Let me double check that. Should go that. No. Really? Come back here, you. Can't lose you. You're like 5 times the size of normal parts. Oh. Really? Wait, are those... No, they're the same. It's a double part. Okay. Yeah, it looks better. Kind of liked it the other way, but that's fine. We'll do in the bunk size. Does cover the knuckles a little bit better. Fine. That's how it shows it. Yeah, that's how it shows it. Annoying. Moving on. Oh, ho, 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 ho! Oh, I gotta pick one. Trying to think of one that I think was the worst. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is a very sad one. It's actually on par with the one that would follow it up, but it's because it completely damaged a very rare mobile suit. Well, a model kit. So when we moved here, my plan was to get all the kits done that I hadn't panel lined and I had decals for, because I was getting really into detailing everything up. A little bit more, a little bit less than what I do now, but a little bit more than I used to. So the first goal was to get some of the older model kits all detailed up and ready to go. First one up was my SN Wing Zero Custom, which is the Supernova wing. They're not really easy to come by. They're fairly rare, so you're supposed to really keep them in good condition. I didn't know it was mostly ABS plastic at the time, and I was using just Gundam panel liner, not knowing that ABS plastic will react with Gundam, with the acetone, the minor amount of acetone they use in Gundam panel liner that will cause ABS to become brittle. And that entire mobile suit is made of ABS plastic. And what happened is I got about halfway through the first leg and waist before it all started crumbling to powder, basically. I had parts where were developing cracks, and they just continued and continued and continued and continued until I lost the one entire leg and the entire waist section was gone. There was no fixing it. The plastic has denatured and completely crumbled. Currently, that mobile suit has my Wing Zero proto legs on it because the ball joint fit the ball joint of the SN Wing Zero. And there's no replacing that unless I decided to spend a very egregious amount of money to replace it. And there's nothing I can do about it. There's no coming back from it. There's no fixing it. I literally destroyed what was, when I bought it, $100 model kit. What it's worth now is somewhere between $100 to $600. And unfortunately, it's going to remain that way till I find a set of legs that match it. The problem with the SN is it uses the upgraded Wing Zero, what's it called? The Wing Zero Wing Gundam legs, and it's a very specific leg type. It has a very specific look to it. And none of the actual Bandai kits other than the Wing Zero high resolution uses that. Now, I could go get an H&M high-res Wing Zero kit, and that probably would work for it. But that's also buying and getting another very hard-to-get third-party kit. Because that one does exist. I just don't know if they use like regular Gundam parts, because it is based on the high-res. Even though this one's kind of the same way, but it could be a good way of getting replacement legs for that model kit. Yes, pretty much Thanos snapped, because there was no saving it. They're gone. I still look at that model kit and I just hang my head in shame. One of the rarest model kits I have. One of. Ooh, those are actually fairly tight. Oh, good. We don't have to do the thumbs. Awesome. The thumb joints are actually really good. Awesome. Yeah, those are actually really good. Cool. And how about the wrist? Ooh, that isn't too bad. I don't think we'll need to do that. We are going to be very limp-wristed on that. But I don't think we need to fuck with the ball joint. We'll see. So, one arm. Two arm. Yeah. Just very limp-wristed, and unfortunately there really wasn't a good way of getting those tighter. But we can deal with that because the hands are very tight. So, here's what our secondary arms look like on this Mobile Suit's auxiliary weaponry kit. They make the tactical arm look small, especially with what's coming up next. Is this the high resolution? No, this is the daban. This is a daban kit. This is the daban 8814 powered red frame astray. The power astray does not come out till next year. From the high resolution one. And I know it probably looks like it's high resolution because it looks amazing. Yeah, that wrist is going to be a bitch, but not too much. That joint's a little bit looser. I do want to see how that one's made. I do want to see the construction on the high resolution version. See if it's going to be the same. Because high resolutions are actually pre-built inner frames. So they're more than likely going to be reusing most of the metal build's pieces. Because they're just going to reuse the old tooling. I don't know that ball joint's going to be a fucking bad factor or not. I know the wrist is going to be. There's no good way of... The most I could do is try doing what I did before with the other ones. Sticking a little bit of glue between the joint to help build up resistance. That might be an after stream thing to do because it'll give me enough time to play with it, but we'll continue moving on. I might do that after stream. Because we now get to work on the shoulders for these. I do want to see the construction on the high resolution version. Badly. I do want to see it. I'm probably going to buy it because I'm dumb and I buy everything that I love that is from the model kit series I'm more interested in. That being anything Seed versus Astray, and anything Wing, and anything freaking anything related to Unicorn that is red. Or Xeon related. That is actually cool. Yeah, so that's why I've been it's kind of what got me into getting back onto the issues with that wing kit. That's kind of what got me into only using, for bare plastic at least. For bare plastic, if you paint with, what is it called? With enamels, and there's one other one. Enamel paint will survive it. God, I cannot remember what it is. Not acrylics. Acrylics will die. Oh, there's another one. But for bare plastics, Sharpies are my favorite. Sharpies and alcohol. Rubbing alcohol and Sharpie is how I get on my hard lines. Everything you see that I do it with a Sharpie pen. It's consistent. It stays when put on. It can be wiped away, but it is very abrasive resistant. And it holds its lines a lot better than regular flow panel liner from my own use. And I like it for bare plastics because as long as it's just Sharpie, the plastic is resistant to the alcohol to an extent, and the Sharpie will come off fairly consistently, but it'll stay behind where you need it to be without damaging your plastics. And then that way, if you're not really into painting, you don't have to worry about your model kits being destroyed. You can still get that level of detail that you want to get out. And now if you use enamel paints and, oh god, there's one other one. Those you can use low base panel liners that do contain acetone, because in the minute amounts of acetone, it won't affect the paint, because a clear coat can most of the time be resistant to the acetone to a point after curing. So then you can actually flow panel liner onto it and then take it off using the using a cleaning method with I think they use lighter fluid, which doesn't react with the acrylic with the enamel coating. But I haven't gotten that far. Now, yeah, what is your most proud build? What build am I most proud of? God. Do we want to say idiocracy? The sheer stupidity of the build, being proud of it, or just the just sheerly having it? Because there is one that sits behind me that yeah, puts full armor unicorn to a shame, and he's still waiting on parts. Even though the Q core parts came in, we're still working on him at the moment. Because my what are we calling that one? My King Doragon Astray Kai has so many goddamn weapons. It's ridiculous because I just decided to make it. I mean, it was just too good. Everything fit too well. He's stolen every part from a lot of Gundams, and he's waiting on some more third-party stuff to come out soon. There's some rifle shoulders that are coming out that are based on the double Astray / the Astray No Name that are coming out for the Master Grade from DL. And I'm like, yeah, thanks for stealing my money, DL. I just totally wanted to spend more money. I totally did. But yeah, I just wanted to totally spend more money on my red frame, which I totally did. Because I'm not lying. Oh, I'll totally spend more money on my red frame all day long. But if it comes down to the complexity of the build, it'll then come down to the big giant 1/35th scale. No, actually, no. Rebuild. My rebuilt, if you can see it on the stream, he's not on right now, but the rebuild of my mega scale unicorn, 10 times better than he was before. The lighting is way better, and the level of detail now is something that I can actually look at and say, yeah, that needed it. I have a video where it compared the old version to the new one. Old version, the LEDs were really terrible. They were 3 mils. They weren't RGB. There was barely like maybe 5 to an area, and a lot of the parts didn't light up. And it just looked terrible. Now, he's got his RGB lighting kit. His weapon lights up. The shield looks so much better. It's a lot cleaner than it used to be. And he's fully detailed with full decaling. That would be the next one we're going. No, that one is one of my favorites because that got me a lot of attention. But I would say of the lighting kits, the RGB was the hardest. That took a long time to get it right because that thing was very tedious, and I've got a lot of cash in those LEDs. There's so much money in those LEDs. I didn't actually think we were going to finish it. The Burning Gundam was actually really easy, comparatively. Same thing with the OS6 team. They were the War on the Pocket build. That was just tedious nature. That costed a lot of money, but that was just due to complexity. But it was still super easy compared to redo of the Mega Scale. The Mega Scale was a very good idea of feats of engineering, because I didn't think that it was going to be that easy. And it really wasn't, but it was fairly easy. And with having his the controllers in the backpack. So he's got his infrared controllers actually built into the backpack with the power supply. So the most that you see is the USB cord that comes out the back to plug into a 5-volt power supply to power up the RGB controller, which is still cool. I still look at that all the damn time going, yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. Compared to the old one that took, which was in 9 volts, because we ran everything in series. Oh my God, I was so bad at electronics then. I ran the LEDs originally in a 9-volt array of series. In a 9-volt parallel array of LEDs in series to equal to 9 volts, which was really stupid at the time, because at the time I didn't think about how voltage doesn't matter. It is amperage when it comes to LEDs. The cumulative amperage is more important than the cumulative voltage, because LEDs can be in all ranges of voltages. It's just how much amperage you're drawing. We can reduce the amount of amperage by stepping up the voltage, or we can just keep the voltage the same and have to just step up our amperage. Which most of the time I just step up my amperage, which is a little easier. Voltage only changes based on if I'm using UVs. UVs seem to run better at 5 volts because the amp rating at 5 volts is much higher. I know, blah, 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 electronics, blah, 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 I know. I get enough of that at home. Trust me, I know. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. It's a lot of technobabble, I know. It's dumb, but it's all important. It's the reason why this guy would have been a candidate for electronics. Technically, he would have been a candidate. But I didn't want to ruin this one. And I couldn't think of a good way of doing the sword without having to do a... Oh, if I was better. Okay, so my skill level is nowhere near what some people are. I don't do Arduino. I don't have a full fancy layout. I have a soldering iron, and I can do DC voltage. I'm not doing any AC power conversions. I'm not doing any Arduino controlled stuff. I don't have a full layout. I can't micro solder. If I could micro solder and I could micro crimp things, like I don't have a full crimp station or anything, I could create a little crimping die to crimp to make a connector for the stupid sword, so that way when it was connected we'd have a wire running up and that the sword would plug into, or have all that stuff. I would just have wires running out the back of it, and I didn't really want to do that because it would really look bad, and I don't really want to do that just yet. I'm still trying to get better at making my wiring kits a little bit better, and I think organically over time it'll become better. I just need to get back onto learning Arduino again. Haven't picked it up in a while. Been really busy, so. But looking at the other problem is simplifying the wiring. That's when I've got to figure out how I'm going to be able to do. Looking at the Cosmos wiring kit, there are a lot of issues with it that I find. And it's more trying to figure out a way that I should try to keep looking into of making it so that you can have a smaller amount of wires going out, but not having them all bunched together. Because that's the problem with the Snow White's wiring kit, is that at the end of it, it is a squid nest of wires. And honestly, I really do hate it, because it's going to look terrible if you look at it compared to something like if I had just done the same thing but in a DC conversion without having all those wires coming out the back and just having it flicker on and off with the controller, would be a lot better. But it's not going to be as fancy as what it is now. And I know I'm rambling on. Just a few thoughts I've been having lately. It'll look nice and it'll be cool. It's a neat experience at this time to try out. We'll see how it works. Gives me a little bit of inspiration on how things can work. Because really, I don't know how it's... I actually don't know how it's controlling it. There are two wires that go out to the circuit board. And unless that's talking back and forth with the board, well, if the A unit is talking back and forth between the B unit, it would have to give signals out to have all the electronics turn on and off. I haven't opened it up and looked at it. I don't know how it's actually controlling that. And that's my level of electronics prowess. Not really good when it comes to programming and circuitry, but damn can I repair shit. Can I take out boards, assess how something's working, put it back in, and then try to reprogram it from there? And then assess if something's broken and then try to fix shit. But I work mostly with old stuff, so. And by old, I mean old enough that they still work way better. But that's also kind of why my kits hold up. If I was to ever sell one of my kits, they run in parallel, so if they were to ever have anything broken on them, they don't completely die. I don't like running things in series because it really doesn't help the unit out. It actually makes it so that there's more faults in the system. Running things in series is just not smart. Plus, you run into voltage issues. Where parallel, you're just gonna run into a few. Your AA's might not run for very long, but shit, I got some that run forever. Like I haven't recharged the real grade Sinanju's batteries in a while, and the green lights have been running for a while now, and it should be almost below 1.5 volts by now. But we'll definitely be getting onto that. Getting some feedback that people want me to do the RX-93 soon. And I'll think about it. I do have something else special for everybody. We might do that next. Like, I might do it before the Snow White Prelude. I kind of want to do it next. It'll be real quick. It's not going to be too much. I've got to get some parts for it a little bit. But I think it'll be fun. It'll be kind of a fun refresh. Kind of a fun little taste before we get into the big stuff. And I've also already prepped a bit of it. And currently this is what I've been doing for for darker panel coloring lately. Is using these metallic markers I have. Helps a lot with getting some of that detail out. Do I have a fan that's dying in the background? Oh no, Gardner's outside. Jeez, they're out there when it's 40 degrees? That sucks. What is that noise? Gardeners. Forgot it's Saturday. Oh, man. That's actually what I forgot to do. I knew I forgot something. Forgot to run Stream Manager. It's always the best way if someone does a reward that I can get it off of there as quickly as possible. All right. And I do have a few new stream awards. Basically, we're going to be doing some more Monster Hunter stuff, so there is one for me to change weapons, which will be fun. Been playing a little bit more different weapons this time around. It's been cool. Been getting into Switch Axe a bit more, which has been interesting. I know I'm usually a one-note person when it comes to those kind of games. Me, big sword guy. Big sword guy, swing big sword guy around. Although I switched big sword for smaller sword, but not that smaller of sword, but it weird switchy sword. It does booms. Okay. Oh, I'm like, why am I sticking to the table? Because I'm literally sticking my hand. And I've been doing it the whole time. Apparently. And that little bit of super glue I had on the table so I can apply it to the ball joints. So half my hand is super glue. I have a giant patch of super glue hand on my hand. Because I've been leaning up against the table to keep on camera. That is freaking hilarious. Yeah, the whole... Yep. The whole backside of my hand is now super glue. Awesome, that'll flake off. Oh my god. That is so fucking hilarious. At least I didn't glue myself to the table. That would have been even more funny. Okay, guys, I gotta go. I gotta cut this freaking table off because I'm super glued to it. Gotta go get some denatured nail polish remover. Just because I wanted to control the flow of that super glue a little bit better on those ball joints. That is just freaking hilarious. Oh man, that makes me laugh my ass off. Oh. Trying to see how much I should be doing on these. WD, WB. WP, WP, WD, WD, no, WP, WB, WB. Oh my god, there's so many parts of these. Jesus. God, I'm gonna have to do these 4 times. I can't tell. Okay, so that's 17-1. Going on to WP15 with WP24. That then becomes number 17-6. And then we take number 17-6, goes over top of, well, it has number WD2 and WM16 go over top of, and we do see the outer portions of WD. Okay, so we do need to heavily detail this. Okay. God damn. Okay, so we gotta heavily detail these. It's just kind of like the arms where we had all these kind of shadowed parts on here, and we needed to make sure that all those parts get their fair share of shading, because if we don't, if you see any of those parts, I didn't want them to look terrible. I wanted them to look good. Oh my god, I have a good video for this. Oh my god, yes. Oh shit, I need to get these fucking arms done. I need to get these shoulders done. So it's funny. Someone had asked when I was doing one of the funny videos for the comparison of this between the real grade, the master grade, and the PG version, because everyone kept asking me what size this was, because I know I get it. You can't see really the scale. And someone was someone had commented, why does the medium red one still not have hands? And it'd be like, well, here you go. He's got hands now. Are you happy? Are you happy? Now he's got hands. Not the hands you wanted, but it's the hands you're gonna get. That would be funny. I mean, that to myself seems funny. You ask for hands, and this is what you're getting. But I'm probably going to have to do that after everything. Probably towards the end or after getting these done. Because I don't know if that would... I don't know if that would work. No, it would still be funny. It'd still be funny before we can get on to the real stuff. Because those are all different context. My brain's just moving at moves at 1,000,000 miles per hour. I'm not ADD. I just move very fast. If I was ADD, I would not be able to do this. Trust me. I wouldn't be able to do the detail and intricacy I do if I was. My freaking siblings are, and they can't hold still to save their damn life. Let alone focus on a month-long project task. No, it's, ooh, pretty butterfly. That's the only thing I'm glad I did not get that runs in my family. I will deal with having bad eyes. I will deal with having asthma. I will deal with every other chronic condition that exists in my family, but thank God I don't have freaking ADD. If I did, I would not be able to focus at all. My problem is I just can't do everything. Like, I got a backlog of games to play that I just haven't had the time to do anything with. Which I've been actually wanting to play. It took about a decent amount of time of tracking them all down, too. A bunch of PS1 emulators. I've got Dolphin running on my phone. And just getting back into playing some of the old Monster Hunters again. I just haven't had the time to sit down and do anything lately. But my arm's doing pretty decent today. I still might have to take a month off from building. I'm still concerned about that. With my arm acting up the other day, I do need to be concerned about it getting sore again and maybe injuring it. I do need to be precaution on that. I do not want to be crippled again. It was not fun last year. No, the 2020 having a bad arm was not fun. And not a bad arm from work injury, a bad arm from personal injury. All right. Well, okay. Yeah, I didn't even do that. Am I dumb? But the level of detail so far I've been enjoying. It hasn't been too tedious. Yes, I wish things didn't have so many parts to them. I think there's definitely ways that they could have done that were a little bit more simplified on this model kit, but it's all right. So far, none of it's been too gimmicky and doesn't feel like it doesn't belong. It all feels great. I think that's been mostly the best thing I think about this model kit so far. Is that everything feels good. Nothing feels cheaply made. Nothing feels too bad on it. The plastic doesn't feel cheap. It's not really brittle. There are some pieces that I'm worried about whenever I'm working with it. The gray pieces due to the earlier issues with the headpiece, the gray piece cracking in half. That was the worst, but I mean, not the worst thing that could ever happen. This kit was supposed to have way more problems from what I've been told. And I have not had nearly as many problems as I thought I was going to have. Okay, so this one would be that one. And so we want one that faces this way. Did I not clip out the right ones? Okay, that's an interesting way of doing that. Especially since we didn't detail that part. Interesting. Interesting. God, this Gundam has so much interesting shit to it. I would not have thought those go backwards. Okay. Ah, man. Cold air always fucks up my lungs. I was doing that yesterday too. Anytime it drops below 50 degrees, I start having heart attacks with my asthma being not a very nice thing. All right. Cool. Now on to the hard parts. Yay! So I need WD, WP, and WB. Ooh. We are just getting into the parts now. Oh yeah, there's not much left on WD. Hell yeah. WD7, okay. WD7 and 6. And lots of shit on that we need to do. So 6. And 7. Okay, so then I need 6 and 7 on the other side. And we gotta detail that. No. 7. 6. Okay. 7 and 6. And then I need 27. And 2. WP 27 and 2. Okay, so that holds that in place. So we can't glue that. That is so weird. Okay, I'm trying to understand this. Oh, no. God, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I get it. I get it. I get it. Goes on the backside. Okay. Okay. The B parts go on the backside. I'm like, what does it mean? I get it. Okay. That took me a minute there to think about. I'm like, what the fuck is this talking about? No, it goes on the backside. It goes on it fills the backside of that out and holds that piece in. So then it can clip onto that. And then we can have everything clipped together. Oh, you're funny. Oh, you're funny that you think those are going to hold those together. Oh, you are so funny, WP. This manual thinks it's so funny. Yeah, we're going to have to glue those together. There's no way in hell. No way in hell those are holding. These little teeny tiny connectors are going to go all the way through those shoulder joints and connect together. Sorry, no, that's not happening. Okay. Then I just gotta get those other ones from the other one out, and then we gotta get the the WB parts, which we can get the WB parts put together. Then get all the WP parts going, and then get all the WD parts going. Lots and lots of little fiddly pieces to go. Okay, then get the WB parts out. Those ones back down there. Put these ones over here. WB. 22 and 23. Ooh, yeah. All right. Cool. So that's all good to go. Huh. Okay, so that technically attaches to the back side of it. We'll get all those going. Okay, definitely gonna have to glue that on there. Let's hope I don't. Let's get it a little bit away from me. Okay, 1 of 4. That I still need to detail up. Oh, yeah. Ooh, I wouldn't have found that. Not a bad morning so far. We only got about an hour left. I have to get off by 12, so not too bad. Come back later, playing some Monster Hunter Rise with wifey. So that'll be fun. And even with all the glue that I've had to use, it's still not been the worst. I welcome glue. It's not the end all be all when it comes to having to do stuff. I mean, yes, I shouldn't have to be using it, but it's nice when you need it. Blah blah blah. Third party kit. Get a. It's expected. Okay. All right. Cool. We got all that. Let's go. All right. wifey. Alright, 1 second. 1 sec. What? Really? Not feeling good? Alright. Love that setup. Makes it so much easier. Makes that so much easier. God, this setup is so nice sometimes. Call comes in, just reach over and grab the headphones, and I don't have to worry about getting stuff or moving things. If I could just dial in my freaking my HDMI control setup, I could have this place so much more set up. Like my switcher works good, but I'm missing 2 components that make my switcher even perfect. Which I'm just lazy to not spend the $70 on getting that set up. Because it's $70 freaking dollars. But it'll make it so I don't have to change cables all the damn time between the 2 different setups. Now it makes things a lot easier. Okay, so those are done. Those are done. Now I've got to move on to these. Yay, more detailing! Ugh. This will be one of my most detailed up model kits I swear I've ever done. Because of how much there is to do. I would have liked one more joint in that thumb. And we're definitely going to tighten up that wrist. I don't like how loose that wrist is. Definitely going to tighten up that wrist after stream. I do not like how loose it is. I want that thing to be super freaking tight, so that way we don't have to worry about it. Oh, wow, oh my god, no. So the worst nub that could ever be possible. That is a 1/4 inch thick nub on one of these pieces that do show that I'm now going to have to completely file down. Well, that's going to be a fucking nightmare on all the other ones. Ha ha ha. No. Now we've been doing so good. It's not as bad if I cut it that way. Still got to prep it a lot. Still got to prep it. No, they're going to be both getting pretty goddamn detailed, so. It won't be so bad. We'll see. Okay. So, small detail. Hmm. move forward just a little bit, not without knocking everything over. Fucking hell. God damn. Just wanted to move a little bit closer to the desk. But instead I want to knock the whole desk over. back onto these. Up in 10 seconds. Okay. next. There we go. So, almost have some of these beginning shoulder pieces done. There it is. Just taking so long on all the detail work. Okay, so then that goes on there. We'll get to that part because I don't want to do that just yet. Because I'll do those last. Because I'm not sure about those being able to go in there very well. I mean, I can try. And they are keyed. And looking up 2 seconds, making sure. Cool. Oh, and I need to check time. Go. And that's going to be where we're going to have to leave off for the time being. Okay, so the 2 sides of one of the shoulders is finished up. Looking like this so far. With a very detailed back plate. Which is good, and we finished up the arms at least, so our completed arms being like this one and like that one. Almost getting close to being able to start doing the other weaponry, the Mega Turbo 150 hilt. But we've run out of time for today. Yeah, just enough time for outro. So thank you everybody for watching today. Not a bad day and a very chatty day so far. Thank you everybody. We will continue to do the roleplay stuff if everyone's really still interested in it. I know everyone seems to like Wifey whenever she does her little reacts. I'll be making her do a lot more of those. It's always fun to see her face when she sees a cat. But as always, thank you everyone for all of your support on any of the platforms, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. I do need to get more YouTube content going, but to do that, we've got to get these kits built. Because without the kits built, I can't do any videos. Because long format stuff goes on YouTube, short format goes everywhere else. So, thank you, and I will see everyone later. Thank you, and bye-bye.